There we go.
Thank you. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our bi-monthly Eastside Wrap meeting. We have just a few announcements before we get started. We'll start by asking, if you don't mind, just introduce yourself in the chat window. And then since Liz is new with us and there may be some folks who haven't met her yet, if you don't mind introducing yourself again, that would be great.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I am Liz Adams, the new regional director over here at PATH.
Thanks, Liz. We are thrilled to have you and glad that you're able to join us on these calls. So we did have our Eastside neighborhood walk yesterday. We had a pretty large group, about 10 to 12 people, I'd say, maybe a little more. Walked up, the two groups walked up Milpas and also a little bit along the waterfront area. So we made it about as far as the freeway and then about as far as the rainbow statue on the waterfront. I don't know if anybody wants to share any of their reflections or thoughts that came up during that walk, but I'll open it up in case.
Yeah, I shared with the team when we were debriefing yesterday. We had a really positive exchange with the general manager at Santa Barbara Inn. And I share that because I know a lot of work and concentration has been put on that region where Milpas meets Cabrillo. And it was felt and well received, and they were very, very grateful. So I again just appreciate the focus both from our outreach teams as well as the police department in that region, as well as how cooperative our folks are in that area. So so thank you again for all of the work there. It was noticed and appreciated.
Yeah, this was my first walk and I loved it. I think that it's just such a cool thing to do to connect with the community members in the neighborhoods we serve. And as Barbara shared, it was really well received by every business we went into. They were really happy to see us and super friendly. And it was great to see too, just how caring they all were as we were talking to them and letting them know, we're here to support you as you have issues with people who may be experiencing homelessness outside your business. And, they really shared we understand, and they really were wanting to help and said nobody was really angry or upset about things that had been going on. So that was really nice. And I went back to the donut shop today and got donuts for everybody on my way to work because it smelled so good when we were there yesterday.
We do sometimes get donuts on the walks too, so stick around.
Yeah,
now you got my team asking. Now you got my team asking for donuts over here, Liz.
Hey, next time we do a morning one.
I forgot to mention too, we did with the outreach team, we did walk over Cacique Street as well. So we were over near Path, AC Ramirez, Marburg, and all of that area. So our outreach teams continue to keep eyes on it, but just since I know we have people on the call who are living and working in that region. So our next walk will be focused on Lower State Street. We're going to meet at on July 13th at 11 a.m. And I'll send out a reminder email as that gets closer. But we'll meet at the Santa Barbara Roasting Company and then walk down under the freeway underpass. Another announcement, the Housing Authority of the City of Santa Barbara is conducting a housing survey, and this is for everyone who is living and working in our community. And so we encourage you to take it. I put the survey link in the chat window, but this is just helpful for them to gather information about housing needs in our community. And then good news from the Housing Authority, the Veracruz Village apartments are opening up soon, and they just opened up their applications. So this is about 30 units that will be able to provide permanent supportive housing for people in the very low income bracket, many of whom will be people who are formerly experiencing homelessness. So between that and the new Dignity Moves project and Buena Tierra, permanent supportive housing project in Goleta, we have a lot of opportunities for people to be able to get off the streets coming up in the next, I'd say, less than 6 months. So very, very happy to be able to report all of that out, and we'll be able to share more as that actually happens. So I think with that, we'll go to updates from our outreach providers. So why don't we start with Odin?
Sure thing. Hi, everyone. My name is Odin, Outreach Specialist for Pat Santa Barbara. Here's just a little bit of an update. For the past few weeks, we hit all the usual beats. Been doing the usual, transporting a few clients out to Social Security, to the DMV, and transported a few clients from the region out to their behavioral wellness appointments because there's such a massive need for mental health services here on the East Side. Just getting them connected was honestly a pretty massive leap since I met them. So getting them over there was just fantastic. Had 3 more enrollments from the area into my program. So we've got a few people working with me to just get documented ready, search for housing, et cetera, et cetera. Met with a few individuals over there on Milpas with some pretty severe medical needs. I'm gonna be case managing now. They've also displayed interest in returning into the shelter system, and looking back at the records, looks like they were pretty clear, no violations or anything like that. So I think they'd be pretty good to reintegrate back into the shelter system from there. And I'm also really happy to work with them. There's a couple individuals around the Veronica, Pandria Veronica over there. But some pretty big news. Just last Friday, we did manage to house another individual, a woman in her late 50s fleeing a very, very unsafe living situation. Met her with her on the streets with incredible trauma, incredible anxiety about her situation, never been, streetwise homeless before. But fortunately, we, did manage to connect with her. We secured a safe place for her to go to for a good month of searching for a place for her to be, permanent housing, and a place for funding. We managed to get her housed at a place of her choosing, completely hidden from her traumatizers. So now, just working on trying to get furnishings for the place. We managed to find something for her to sleep on, some basic amenities and stuff like that. Now that she's transitioning into living in a brand new place, brand new area, just having those kind of connections, it can be, it can be a lot of hard work for. It can be a jarring experience, going away from all the places that all the people that you once knew, severing those connections and then building a new one. So now it's just going to be, having that continued support, even though she's officially housed and, technically she needs to leave my caseload. I'm going to hold on to her for at least a little bit longer just so that she can, she feels a little bit more stable where she's at. Also a good update, I can say that every person experiencing homelessness in their cars on Cacique Strait is connected to resources and is connected to a service provider.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, and a noticeable difference, I will say, in terms of the vehicles. It was really noticeable yesterday. So that's a huge undertaking, you and New Beginnings and beyond. So kudos.
Yeah, now whether or not they're gonna move from Cacique Street, we
Right.
just gotta keep, telling them, hey, there are other places to park, the beach is lovely, just keep on pushing that. But everyone in their cars is connected to a resource. But that's all I got. Pass it off to y'all.
That's great. Thank you, Odin. Liz, do you want to share that request verbally?
Yeah, that just reminded me when Odin was talking about helping obtain furniture. Wanted to just throw it out there. If anybody has a California King bed frame, just the frame, we were fortunate enough to have a mattress donated, and we just need the frame to go with it. So if you have a spare that you want to throw our way, please do.
Thank you, Liz. Would you put your email in the chat window as well? All right, so why don't we go to CityNet?
Sorry about that. Wasn't sure if Selwyn said you were going to go first. So we continue to do outreach. We were on the walk yesterday. And it was a good walk. We came across a little situation with SBPD, but other than that, and unfortunately we couldn't take the female that was with the group to pass because we're full, but did offer her some alternatives. And then Odin got there and spoke with her. He remembered her from before, so hopefully we can get her some mental health assistance and go from there. Then let's see, we still do outreach with Odin, Spanish outreach. Come across our same individuals, we check in with them, see if there's anything that they need. Still hesitant to go into shelter, rather be outside. I think that's pretty much it on our end. I don't know if Saul and Sarai have additional updates.
Hello. So I think last week we did some like Spanish outreach with the Pat and our PLHA team. We did it towards like the tracks, and during our outreach we were able to actually connect with an individual because she has a Section 8 voucher. So she initially didn't like really engage with us, and it was like kind of hard to kind of gain her trust. So when we actually went to go give her the voucher, it was kind of cool because we got a hug, which was something that we didn't really expect to get from her. Hopefully the process is going to be pretty smooth. I think we're going to go towards the end of the month. I think it's next week that we're going to take her in to do that. And the tracks towards the bird refuge has been pretty clear. There were some people there that we used to engage with. We're having trouble connecting with them. So we'll see if we'll find them around. Usually people will go back to their spots. So we'll check in. And around Chase Palm, there's some folks that we also engage with. With them, it's because they're kind of close to path. We give them the option to go in if they would like to. So we're just waiting to see. I think we have one individual that was interested, but the hesitation was that his partner wasn't able to go in with him. So hopefully, we'll increase the outreach specifically towards the Amtrak, but I don't know if that counts as the east side. So, but that's what we'll be mostly next week.
And just for anyone new on the call, I just wanted to give an update with a couple of different contracts that we have on here. So Saul and Sarai currently work our surf contract, which is the corridor with the railroad tracks and freeways. Luckily with that contract, it's from Santa Maria to Carpinteria, but because it goes through that process, railroad tracks and railroads, it goes through the city of Santa Barbara, Goleta, Eastside, Santa Barbara into Montecito. So it's really a pleasure to be able to have multiple of our staff members. So we literally have 4 to 5 staff members that are able to cover certain areas with 2 different contracts to have as much, community support as possible, along with Odin and New Beginnings and all the rest of the teams in this area. So the East Side is definitely getting a lot of love and support that we have, and we definitely start seeing the difference.
Thank you all. And thanks, Al. That's helpful just to understand a little bit of the scope there. I don't see anyone from Good Samaritan on the call today. So Deborah, would you mind sharing from the Safe Parking Program?
Of course. Thanks, Landon. I missed the walk yesterday. I was busy on, I know it's not East Side, but both Hope and Hitchcock have a lot going on over there. So, but I have been, our client liaison who monitors the Goleta lots is on vacation. And so our Santa Barbara is covering him and I'm covering Santa Barbara. So at the crack of dawn, I'm having a chance to really drive down through De La Guerra Street and by Dwight Murphy. And I'm on Milpas and Gutierrez, just checking on our safe parking lots. So it's covering, and of course, the Creo Castillo lot. So it's been great being out there early in the morning, like we used to do, and it gives me an opportunity to, check in with a few more people. Of course, we're always looking for flexible funding. We've got a lot of people out there who just are so close to coming into the program, but, need registration or something. Well, Landon, you probably get lots of requests. Other than that, we have open day a lot in Carpinteria. And I've actually found a couple of people staying here in Santa Barbara who are from Carp and would prefer Carp. So we'll make sure that we can get them prepared. So, just doing a little more outreach with people right now. And I've got 2 more weeks of this morning route. So if you see anything that maybe we haven't had luck connecting with, I can't think of anything. I just know the hotspots down there, so I keep an eye on them, but let me know because, I'm out there by 5:45 in the morning right now. So I can check waterfront, any of that stuff. And I have been going by path on a regular basis. And other than the one woman in the van who does move the van now, last time I talked to her, I went back after work on my way home and she had moved it. So at least she's not just camped out there, unless you've noticed something I haven't. So, but yeah, just yell if you need anything and we'll just keep working. That's it.
Thanks, Deborah. And Deborah named what one of the biggest barriers for clients joining the safe parking program is being able to pay for their registration and insurance sometimes. But we need that in order for them to be able to participate. So it's an ongoing need for those flexible funds. I saw Kirsten join the call. Kirsten, we're just going around doing updates from the different outreach providers. I don't know if you want to share on behalf of Good Samaritan or not. It's all right if not. I know you're not.
I wish I had an update. I don't. I just have the outreach team working on a different project today. So I just wanted to make sure we were on here if anybody needed anything. Sorry.
No worries. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
And then anything from Joao or the city as well, just while we're doing updates?
No big updates.
So why don't we go ahead and open it up for community member concerns or questions?
Hi, this is Susie. Good morning, everybody. Odin, again, kudos to all your good work, and we appreciate everything that you're doing, and we see positive change happening. A couple of things I do want to bring to your attention. I know, Odin, you mentioned that everybody that's parked on Cazique is connected to resources. There's an individual in a blue van that's parked right in front of our building. He actually got into a confrontation with our safety manager on Wednesday. We had to call the police. He's making some of our accounting staff quite uncomfortable when they walk by. So I'm hopeful that person could move away from our facility. So I just wanted to bring that to your all attention. And I don't know, and maybe this is a sidebar conversation with Barbara, but it would be ideal if we could make that sidewalk, limited parking or passenger drop-off parking or red, no parking. It does create, visibility challenges with our trucks coming in and out, and especially that lady that is moving her van around with all the bikes on top. And there's a lot of riffraff that she partners with. The other thing is there's a lady walking around that's got a bloody face. She was screaming obscenities to the lady that's been sleeping on the post office side. They got into a fist fight, I think it was on Tuesday. She's very loud and rambunctious, so I don't know if she's seeking care, but somebody should reach out to that woman too, because it is very challenging for our accounting crew that sits downstairs in our Cazique building.
Hi, Susie. I'm very familiar with that, with those individuals, and currently just trying to get them connected with mental health services right now because they are very behaviorally challenging and actually quite antagonistic to us outreach providers. Had a pretty rough history with that last woman you mentioned. So right now the goal is to just get her in connection with behavioral wellness outreach, because although she's, her and her partner are, as a household connected to resources, she just needs so much more care than what a shelter can provide, and preferably get her back onto her medications, because talking to her previous caseworker over there, it's when she's off medication, just horrible baseline. But I've notified PD about her. She's very well known in that circle. So just having that connection, I'm hoping in the next few weeks when I get in contact with the clinicians again at Be Well, that we can just build that bond again, hopefully get into a skilled nursing facility. But right now it's just, weaving the way between her negative history with outreach, with Path in particular, and getting that connection to clinicians.
Susie, the blue van, is it there at this time? Is it there every day? Does it just come at a certain time? Because I did not see it the last time I was over there. And how far down from Path is it? Is it right smack in front of your place on Cacique? And you said where your truck's pulling in and out?
It's
And,
right in front of the building. Like
Okay.
800 Cacique.
Okay. And you
It's
said
also got no license plates.
there's a gentleman in there, it's a man in there, is it just him in there?
Odin, do you know? I think it's just him, but I know there's a lot of riffraff that converse with him.
Yeah,
So-
there are a couple, I think. I don't know what their history is, but there's two individuals that are over there. But the woman, very vocal, and I think,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so there's other people experiencing homelessness that may be hanging out at the van as well. Is that what
Yes.
you were saying, Susie?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm happy to go by there and just, I'll be out and about around 12 o'clock today, so I'll go by and see what I can find out.
Thank you.
Hey, Odin, is the person you were talking about one of the people you added to our list last time?
Like yesterday, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Chris, you had your hand up a little while ago.
There we go. I think I unmuted myself. I just wanted to mention that there's going to be a community cleanup tomorrow morning from 9 till noon, starting at Path, if anybody wants to volunteer.
Yes, thank you. I meant to include that in the announcements. I will send out the flyer right after this to everybody on this call.
Thank you.
Any others? Okay, seeing none, I think we can wrap it up a little bit early today. Our next Eastside Wrap meeting will be in 2 weeks from today. So thank you to everybody who came out, and service providers, if you can stick around for the connections call. Thanks all.
Thank you, everybody, for all the good work that you're doing. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Susie.
We appreciate you, Susie, as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
And Kai, can you stop the recording?